I noticed, I think we skipped the part where Rory inexplicably invites Paris to dinner and a room
Yeah.
and an overnight because did we have room? I thought this was like invite only because everybody gets a separate room. So
Right. Maybe. Oh, and she did stay there. Maybe she didn't stay the night.
maybe
I don't
she's just
know.
staying for dinner. Yeah, because we didn't see her check out, did we? Yeah, you're
No,
right.
we didn't. But oh God, oh, it's such a soft spot for Paris, and she's a jerk too. She's so tries to make Rory feel bad every turn, and then when she softens up around Rory, I just like fall in love with her. You know,
Mm,
Rory's trying to find an edit for the stupid paper, and you see Paris kind of light up. Hey, we get to nerd out with each other. How many people tolerate me and this and she wants to stay for the dinner. And I just feel bad for Paris. But all these kids are terrible. They're
yeah, they're
horrible
terrible.
kids.
Well, her posse isn't there, so she doesn't have to show off to anybody. She's there
True.
by herself on a work trip, and and she gets invited to dinner. So when we come back into the actual dinner, I was like, Paris is sitting next to Miss Patty,
Hmm.
and they had just met. Was that last episode or 2 episodes ago? Like
Oh, that's right.
they had recently had a very awkward meeting where Paris booked the room, booked Miss Patty's studio to do a rehearsal, and yelled at her, to be like, I don't know where you're from, but where I'm from, blah blah blah. And so I'm like, wow, they're seated next to each other. So I looked around this table and I was like, Paris would be so bored. She doesn't
Hmm.
know anyone. And Rory is not going to entertain her,
Right.
at this dinner. So Paris just looked unbelievably bored.
I
Um,
mean, I think that she rarely gets to socialize outside of school. And I think this might be better than being at home with the Iliad or her nanny playing Monopoly again. So
right.
I think she knows how to be bored. And now she has something to look at.
Yeah, no, it's true. I
Yeah.
mean, it just, I could imagine it being very awkward for Paris, especially if she thought she had work to do. But
Which is so funny because you could have just put Lane, Dean, even Jess,
yeah, you could have had the
Rory.
kids' table of like the teenagers can hang out over here. I
No,
know.
instead Luke and Jess are being monkeys. There's like, what's this? I don't know. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yeah.
Like what is wrong? Luke, you make food for a
Yeah.
living. You
Luke
didn't
is a
know.
chef, or Luke is
Yeah.
at least a cook. Like,
Hmm.
you're familiar with soup, you idiot. Like, oh my God. Yeah, what is this green stuff on here? No, no, no.
Yeah.
What city is Jess from that he's never seen squash soup?
I
Is he
think
from
he's supposed to be
Chicago?
from New York.
He's from New York?
I think so. I think his mother moved to New York. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did I think Chicago? Maybe just Chicago was mentioned in this episode. Um, but yeah, if you're from New
Maybe.
York, you know what soup is.
I mean, I can understand a 16-year-old not knowing what squash soup is. Maybe his mother's not making that, but I think that Luke knows exactly what the green is in the soup, what the white is in the soup.
You think he's trying to bond with Jess? You think he's pretending he doesn't know just to be like to have a
I actually
one-on-one?
think the show just enjoys portraying men as just idiots sometimes. There, I
Right.
said it.
All right, that's
Yeah,
great.
I think so. I think like Luke is not an ape, but they make him look like one so often.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, I'm just gonna hit you.
Yeah. That's right. Luke and
Yeah.
Dean are in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
They had a fight.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That was great.